Yo, so I can hear you. You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Well, you know what? I just first off want to apologize. Sorry, guys, for the delay on the episodes between episode 5 and 6. I've been getting ready for a show and been dealing with the new fucking puppies, so my shit's been a little busy. But here we are. Welcome back to 7 on 7, episode number 6. And today, I have my boy, Brian Robles. Is that correct?
Yes,
sir. Brian Robles, or Sixth Element.
Yes, sir.
On Instagram, Mr. Six. That's what I have you in my contact.
Okay.
It's contact
you have
information.
Mr. on it?
Well, yeah, no.
Oh,
it's just it literally says Brian Sixth.
Okay, cool.
That's what I have. Yeah. But welcome to the fucking show, brother.
Cool. Thanks for having me, man. I asked you. I was like, are we gonna talk about anything specific? And you're like, no, we're just gonna freestyle it. Like,
freestyle it, bro. That's
cool.
That's what I love about the style of the podcasting, and like other podcasts that I like listening to is like where you can tell that it's just a real conversation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like listeners and audiences can tell when shit's scripted.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know, it doesn't have a certain level of like authenticity. Yeah, authenticity to it. But yeah, fucking Brian Sixth Element is here. First, we're gonna start off. Introduce yourself, who you are, where'd you grow up, a little bit of who are you for the people who know you, people who don't know you, for everyone that's gonna know you after the show. First off, who is Brian Robles? Who is Sixth? Give us a little background.
Fuck. Okay. Can I curse?
Hell yeah,
okay,
you can
cool.
curse.
Cool. Brian Robles. I'm fucking 28. I'm a director, producer, entrepreneur. Dabble in a couple different businesses. I always say trapper of many things.
Trapper boss.
I'm a creative. I'm a writer. I'm a veteran. Served in the military for a couple years.
Appreciate you. Thank you for your service. That's
thank
big.
you, man. Thank you. I do it kind of a lot. I'm sure throughout the podcast, like things will come up and people will learn more about me.
Absolutely.
And shit, But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up actually in Mexico. I actually come from I was born in the U.S. I'm kind of like an anchor baby, was what people used to call it. So my family, my parents, my dad and my mom were both born in the town I grew up in. A little town, like no bigger than 5 miles in radius. Like,
oh shit, so
super small. Like everybody knows each other to this day. If I go over there, they know who I am, know who everybody is. I grew up out there, so my parents had me here, took me back. I grew up there till I was like, I don't know. It's a blur now, probably 5, 6, 7. I don't remember.
Okay.
And then came over here, grew up not far from here, Santa Ana. I grew up from the ages of whenever we got here. So kindergarten to like middle school, Santa Ana, then Tustin.
Got you.
Literally not far from here. Tustin High.
Oh, bro, around the corner.
Yeah.
I could walk to Tustin High.
I went to Tustin High.
Got you.
And then into high school, Inland Empire, Myrna Valley. I went to Myrna Valley High School.
No way. I grew up in Corona like my whole life.
Oh, shit. You did.
I'm an IE baby.
Yeah.
You know
I actually lived in Corona. So here's the thing, too. I've lived all over the place. Like
I can tell. I was going to say, you was here, you was there, you was here, you was there.
No, be driving around with like my friends or my girl, whatever. And I'm always being like, oh, I used to live right here. Like all over Southern California, like West Covina, Walnut, like IE, Riverside, Colton, Tustin, Santa Ana, like literally everywhere. North Hollywood, Encino, Mulholland, fucking everywhere. I've literally been everywhere for at least a year or two,
Okay.
So I've kind of been.
Damn, you've been everywhere. You're
everywhere,
You're cultured in all.
I'm a little cultured.
Yeah, you're a little cultured.
The only places I really haven't lived in is like West LA or like South Central or shit like that. But
yeah, I used to live in
kind of everywhere.
I used to live in WeHo for a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I lived on Sunset and Vine.
Okay.
At the Camden, that's right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to live in a Camden apartment too.
Dude, hey, Camdens are nice.
They were nice.
Dude, they're nice.
Hell yeah.
The amenities is solid. The people is solid.
Yeah.
Like the units themselves is solid. Like honestly, I'm a big fan of
I lived in
Camdens.
Camden, Ontario.
Damn.
Cool spot.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I've been everywhere. Sunset and Vine. It's funny you say that because when I started working with this artist Phora, I shot he put a billboard up on the corner of Sunset and Vine.
I know exactly where that billboard is.
Yeah, it was the LRG, and I remember this was like the second time I met him, I think, and I got some. It was like an interview type of thing. Like
Yeah.
he was talking in front of the billboard. I was recording it, and then I got some I put the drone up, and I got some drone coverage, and then my drone hit a tree and it got stuck up there, and I was like, fuck. And then I remember.
Yeah, I could never fly a drone.
Dude, and it's crazy because I just broke. Remember the drone we used in your set?
for my video.
$12,000 drone. Did I tell you?
Crashed. Yeah,
I crashed it.
You said it hit a skyrise.
I hit a fucking dude. Oh man! Shout out to my guy Connor. I'm not gonna badmouth Connor. He's my guy, man. But he was my spotter.
Damn.
And I mean, it's not his fault, you know.
Yeah.
He's
shit
not
happens.
like I'm a drone spotter. Like he was just like the guy there, and I was like, hey, bro, make sure I don't hit anything.
Yeah,
He's like, I got you. And he was looking. He was telling me like every time I'd get a little close, but that one time, you know, he was like, oh, you're good. You're about 100 feet, and like right there, like before his sentence even finished, it was just like
boom, done, over.
Done.
12 grand down the fucking drain.
Dude, I looked up and I'm just like,
see it's just
falling out the sky. Man. I was like, fuck, like literally the last shot of the whole like set, like.
Hey, at least it didn't like happen like while you was like on a crucial shot or first thing in the shoot.
You know what could have been worse?
Is it hit somebody?
Is it fucking hit somebody? Because it's a big fucking drone.
That bitch was big as shit.
That shit would have killed somebody. If it hit somebody on the head, like...
Done.
Dead.
Done.
And that would have been worse. So whoever
you definitely wouldn't have been here today.
You know? For real. I would have been fighting the case or something like...
Big, bro. Big facts.
Yeah. And then no insurance. Like, I would have been fucked, dude.
Hey.
So
everything happens for a reason.
Always insure your gear, whether it's a drone, a camera, whatever. Like, I've learned...
Insure it, always.
Insure everything, bro.
Always.
Car, anything.
So, you've been all over the place. You lived basically, I feel like everywhere.
I've lived a lot of places.
You lived a lot of places. When did you go, like, I guess we should start, like, your childhood. Like, just overall, like, obviously we're not going to touch on childhood in Mexico and Riverside and Tustin and here and here and here. But, like, overall, like, as your childhood, like, what was it like? And, like, did your childhood play a role in, you know, where you're at now and what you do now? And, like, was there certain things that had an influence on you when you were a kid before you went to the military? Because we're going to dive into the military stuff before we get into what you do now, because I think that's important. And, like, I'm all about that, so, like, I want to know that. But like, your childhood, when you grew up, was there certain things that was tougher, was easier, that was maybe gave you hints or directions of, like, maybe this is where I want to go when I'm older? And, you know, I feel like us as kids, like, always think of that kind of shit.
Yeah, man. I feel like my childhood played a part in everything growing up, and even the military. I feel like so little things and I'm an overthinker, so I overthink everything. I can be places, and I'm just like staring off into space, but I'm in here. I'm in my head, you know. And I've always been like that since I was a kid. So I overanalyze. I've overanalyzed my childhood, and I've already like thought about like, oh, maybe I'm this way because of this or whatever. You know, like when I was a kid, I used to get into fights a lot, and I hate to play the victim, but a lot of times it was like people was picking on you and shit. And like, so when I was a kid, I have a scar here on my cheek. So I don't know, I was born with like a birthmark or something, but I guess as a kid I would always like scratch it, and it looked like, my family says it looked like a little strawberry. I don't know, but it would stick out, you know? Yeah. And I guess people would pick on me for that. You know, I had a friend who was my friend at the time. His name was Eduardo. Same from this is Mexico, you know? And we would fight all the time. I don't even remember. I mean, I was a kid. Yeah. But I just remember is that he would always like reach out for it and like squeeze it and scratch it, and like that shit would, you know,
piss you off.
They piss me off, and
like, why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah, and then
totally not necessary.
Been fighting since kindergarten. Yeah, and then came to the U.S. I didn't speak English, so got into fights because of that. Yeah, people pick on me. First grade, I had a best friend. His name was Sergio, and he was like the popular kid in class and shit. And but I was a tall kid. Like, I've been this height since I was in 6th grade. So I hit my growth spurt early. So when I wasn't, 1st grade, I was the tallest kid in class.
Man, I'm still waiting for mine.
You don't have to be waiting for a minute.
God damn.
But yeah, so I remember, like, we used to have little arguments about the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
And because he was a popular kid, everybody would take his side.
Totally.
And since 1st grade, like, there's pictures of me in like, the teacher would take pictures and shit. Mm-hmm. And there's pictures of me, like, crying and shit in the photos because I just fought, like, 8 kids or whatever, Yeah. Like, and it would be like, I'd get my hands on somebody, and I was a big kid, so I'll start beating on somebody, and then someone would jump on my back.
Yeah.
And it would happen, like, often. Like, I can't count with my hands how many times it happened that year,
Yeah.
And I feel like that. And then growing up in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
I don't know really how it is now, but at least in, like, middle school, the culture was very, like, gang.
Totally. I mean, it still is very much.
Yeah,
like,
right? It's still.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's better, though, for sure.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot better down there.
Yeah. Shit, I'm just going on a timeline. Yeah. But yeah, so that, it also influenced me. So that even just fighting as a kid influenced that. I mean, that was still me being a kid, but I used to fight all the time because of that too, because I'm light skinned and I grew up I went to Car Intermediate School.
Yeah, okay.
Not too far from here, but Santa Ana. And it was cool to be, not saying it's not anymore, but it's cool to be brown and you're Mexican and whatever. And I was a light skinned kid. I couldn't fucking see, so I had glasses. I looked like Harry Potter and shit. So no, real shit. And they used to fucking clown on me for it. And it's crazy because I feel like people used to pick on me for being white, because my hair used to be like a little bit more like dirty blonde and shit. They used to call me güero and used to make fun of me. And I'm like, bro, you don't even speak Spanish.
Right.
Like, I grew up in Mexico. Like, I'm more Mexican than you. Like, shut the fuck up, And I would fight a lot because of that. Like, because, back then, I mean, to this day still, but back then, like, especially in those environments, like gang environments and shit, if, you get picked on, you gotta, if you don't, you get picked on even more. So
you gotta handle your shit, kind of.
Exactly. I used to get into a lot of fights because of that. And I always felt like, again, I'm not to be a victim, but, like, I wouldn't go around, like, I'm not a bully, bro. I'm a nice guy. Like, I wouldn't go around fucking with kids, it would just, that's how it would happen and shit. And then, and I was a fool. Like, like, I'm rocking Pro Club today. I haven't worn a Pro Club shirt since I was in middle school. It's funny, 'cause shout out to Pro Club. They just hooked me up yesterday.
Oh, fire.
Because I shot a video for Larry June. I don't know if you know who
of course.
Larry June, hard.
Everyone who's listening, do you know who Larry June is? Yes, everybody knows who fucking Larry June is.
I just shot him. I shot a music video yesterday.
Oh, fire!
So they gave me this, but yeah, I used to fight a lot because of that, and shit, I'm losing my train of thought.
No, but you was because of your scar, and there was people that was picking on you, and then in Santa Ana, because you was.
Oh, this is where I was going.
Yeah.
So I went from, like, being in school, and whoever grew up in this type of environment can relate, but you're not friendly. You can't be friendly. And it sucks coming from, like, I'm a friendly dude. Like, I'm cool with people. I like, but in that environment, you can't be that because then you're weak.
Yeah, I was going to say, it shows weakness.
So I was so, like, in my head, I had to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I had to dog people. And, like, if someone looks at you too long, you got to check them on it and whatever. I moved to Tustin, and it fucking changed my life because I think it was 8th grade. I moved here, and I got to Tustin. It was a Wednesday, and I didn't know Wednesday was late start day.
Yeah.
So I show up Curry Middle School, and I'm there early, 7 a.m. or whatever. And then I'm the only one there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
where's everybody at?
Where's everyone at? And then I started seeing people show up, and then I never knew, like, I never met a skater before. I was from fucking, before that I had lived in Townsend Street, and it was a fucking gangbang, like, motherfuckers. The reason why we moved to Tustin was because my friend's little brother got shot right outside my apartment.
Oh, shit.
And there was shootouts every night, but my dad saw the aftermath, like, and he saw the mom crying, and he went down there, and then
he's like, yo, I gotta get my kids out of this.
And that's what finally, and I'm so grateful for it, like, cause shit, I don't know where I would have ended up.
Totally.
So, back to the story. I'm in Tustin. Start seeing people show up. I see a kid with a skateboard. In my head, I'm like, ha, lame.
Right.
Fucking lame. And then I see like emo kids and like kids with long hair, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what did I fucking come to? You know? I'm like being all negative and shit. And then I start seeing like girls being mad cool with the skater kids. Like, they're mad cool, like talking about like summer and shit.
Hell yeah.
And then I start seeing like, and I'm a loner because I don't know anybody. And then I start seeing that the other kids that are loners are dressed like me. Baggy pants, you know, like being standoffish too. And I'm like, yo, like, this was cool back there. Like, now the popular kids were fucking the guys who had the girls were fucking gangbangers and shit. And I'm like, yo, this is weird. So again, I'm still standoffish. It's brand new to me, culture shock. And then I had this kid in my class. His name was Raul. Shout out to Raul. He was a skater, but he was Mexican.
Got you.
Mexican skater kid. And I had him for every single one of my classes, and for like half of them, he sat next to me. And one day, like early on, like first week of school, he actually used to live in Santa Ana too. And he was like, hey, bro, come skate with me and my friends after school. And I'm like, fuck, I don't have a skateboard. And I thought it was lame too, because I come from that environment where like, who fucking skateboards, you know? Like, what's fun, you know?
What's fun?
Yeah, like we back then it was handball. I don't know if any like,
bro, handball used to be the shit.
You know, the little the blue fucking rubber ball, like whatever.
Yeah, you use your hand as the paddle.
Yeah,
and shit.
Yeah, exactly. That was the cool shit in like the fucking Santa Ana, you know. And I was like, yeah, sure, like, you know, fucking old school. And then he gave me my first skateboard. It was an Element board.
Damn. And
I was like, damn, this is cool. It's weird. No one's ever given me some shit like this. Like, this is cool. And then we show up. We actually skated at the school, like outside in the front. And I remember like skater kids showed up, and they were fucking cool, dude. Like, they fucking were nice to you and shit. Like they were just being cool. Like, they were so accepting of, I don't know, you as a person. Like, and I was like, yo, like, that changed my whole life. Like, because I feel like if I have a cousin, shout out to my cousin Adrian, but he never, I feel like grew out of that, you know? Yeah. And like,
always kind of kept that negative like, mindset.
Yeah, like, and great dude. I love my cousin, but there'd be some times, and I know he'll laugh at this if he sees this shit. Like, we'll be at the mall or some shit, and he'll be looking around like real sus, like, and he'll be like, "Hey man, I think those are my enemies over there. Should I go check them?" And I'm like, "Bro, chill. Like, like, you don't have to be that way." And I learned that because I moved to Tustin, and I met people and I was like, "Yo, there's a whole world outside of this shit." Right. So that influenced my life heavy, because now, and what I do now, like,
you have to be a people person.
And I can meet people from the hood, and I like relate to them, and I can and I feel like I've known them for a long time, and they feel like they've known me for a long time, just because we can relate on certain things. And then I can meet people that are just mad cool and fucking play Pokemon cards all day, and like we're cool. I could relate to a lot of people, and I could, you know, with artists too, like, you know, West Coast, like Larry June from, I think he's from the Bay and shit, or whoever. Like, I can relate to him, and we can connect, you know? Yeah. And, which is good. So, yeah, that's huge. Affected.
That's a huge skill.
Yeah.
Just like thing to like be able to gain in life, like, especially not having it, because a lot of people are born with that just because of the environment they're in. Like, they're born with that from the start. So it's like you like developing that as you were older, and then like getting that not at the start, and then like taking it to where you have now is like, dude,
like I could talk to people. I could be very fucking professional with people at the labels or whatever, managers, and then I could be mad cool with the artists, or like I've learned not even just in business, in like life, you gotta be versatile. Like,
have to be,
because the world is big. It's small too, but it's big to where they're like, you just gotta be versatile. You gotta know how to maneuver, adapt, and that's another thing I learned in the military too. Adapting.
I was just gonna ask. So where does the military play into this?
Military plays in.
And how long were you in, and what branch, and what did you do?
Cool. Let's get into that. So, never was there's a couple of stories I could tell. So, I wasn't a violent kid, but I was a stand up for myself kid.
Of course.
So, Moreno Valley, and people from Moreno Valley, I don't know how it's like anymore. I don't think it's the same way, and I've met people who were in Moreno Valley at the same time I was, around 20, 2010 to 2012, it was very like racist, like as in like blacks hated Mexicans and Mexicans hated blacks. Like there was a feud. I don't know what it
was.
Yeah,
but...
I remember I used to, and my cousin. That's where Adrian, my cousin, who I was talking about, who's a fool. Like that's where he comes in because he's from there, and we went to the same school. And like we would literally like I would get into so many fights because of him, because he was a street kid and he was problematic, you know, and he had beef with people and shit. And I remember like we used to be walking down the street and we see a group of like, you know, like black dudes and shit, and I don't have a problem with anybody, but we'd be walking and they'd be, oh fuck Mexicans, and like
that's the name of how that culture and like environments like that are.
It is.
It's not like I feel like when people talk about it, or like who have experienced it, and like some people might hear it now and be like, oh well, that's racist. Like, you got to understand, like, that's just how it was.
Exactly.
For whatever reason, there was just hate for no reason between the two different type of ethnicity. Like,
and
in the same environment that would cause problems out of nowhere.
Like, and it could have been something that started before we were even in that environment. You know?
For
probably
sure.
started someone killed somebody fucking years ago, and like, you know, we're dealing with the
fuck this forever. For facts.
So got into a lot of fights in Moreno Valley because of that. A lot of times it was because my cousin would fight. He had beef with somebody, and then I'd have to fight because, you know, I'm not gonna. But yeah, it was just a lot of like violence and shit. And then my brother had joined the military when I was in 10th grade, 11th grade, something like that. But I've always like been into like shit like that, you know. And then when he did it, it kind of was like, oh shit, like I could do it. Like it became a possibility now.
For sure.
So by the time I was a senior in high school, I was already thinking of doing it. And then some shit happened. I don't want to really get into it on here, but some shit happened where like my dad got into, and my dad's remember he grew up, my dad was born in a field, like, you know, like that town back then, even when my dad was born, you know, 50, 60 years ago or whatever, was even smaller than it is now. So there was no hospitals, no clinics, nothing like that. So that's where he comes from. Innocent person, like, and he got held at gunpoint, traveling to Mexico, and then, like, I remember my aunt called my mom, and she was like, oh, you know, your dad came home, or your husband came home, whatever, and he was pale white, and, you know, he got robbed for this and that. And I don't know I feel like when I look back, because I'm an overanalyzer again, back to what we were saying, like, I don't know, I think that's what triggered me to be like, I'm going to the military. I gotta learn how to protect my family and myself and I could learn how to fight, and I could learn how to, but like I gotta learn how to be tactical, and you know I gotta learn how to kill people, like, and it sounds like funny now, but that's was really how you thought. That's really my mentality. That's real. I mean, there's no reason to like sugarcoat that. I wanted to learn how to kill, like, and how to be okay with it. So senior year, my friend Jonathan, who I just reconnected with recently, just had a kid. So crazy, like, you know, high school friend. I know, right? But seeing all my friends have kids right now too, I'm like, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm like, god damn. Like, it makes me want to have one, kind of, you know. But, for sure. You know, it's the right timing. But we both joined at the same time, and we hyped each other up. We're like, bro, let's. We wanted to do cool shit. We wanted to do high speed shit. Like, we want to go be. We want to do the real life Call of Duty shit. Yeah, we wanted to do. we wanted to be. It's called the CCT. It's called the Combat Controller. Yeah. It's like now it's through Air Force. My brother did Army. I wanted to do Air Force because I thought it was like more prestigious and shit. And low key, like, it's not more prestigious. It's just, it's different. It's a little softer, and people are gonna try to argue with me, but it is though. It's fucking like if I was in the Army, so I ended up in the Army, but and I'll tell you how. But when somebody in the Army would stay, or when somebody in the Air Force would stay in Army barracks, they get compensated because it's like substandard living. Like, that's how they're more like take care of you and shit. But anyway, I remember we went to this recruiting station, and they didn't have any. I think the wait list was like a year after we graduated. So we're like, fuck, we'll have to wait or whatever. We were walking out, and the Army recruiter was standing outside.
Of course, bro. They always lurking.
That's how
bro.
they fucking got
That's how
it.
they get you, bro.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
So it was me, my friend Jonathan, who ended up joining, and then my friend Joshua, who had already joined.
Got you.
But he was in the reserves. He was a mechanic.
Oh, dope.
And so the recruiter knew him, and he like threw like a coin, like a penny or something, just to like fuck with him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, do you guys want to talk to like the Army recruiters, like just to see what happens?" And then we're like, "Sure." You know, we walked over there, and he's like, and he was in the infantry, which is what I ended up doing. And he's like, "What's up, man? What are you guys trying to do?" And then Josh is telling him like, "Oh, they're trying to be CCTs and ooh." And he's like, "Oh, I had some CCTs attached to my unit when I was out there. And oh, you guys want to do high speed shit, huh?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Have you ever heard of Army Rangers?"
Yeah.
And then that's where he got us.
Exactly.
We were like, Army Rangers, what is that? You know? And then we started looking into it, and like we're like, "Yo, that's cool. Like I want to do that shit." And then we were trying to get Ranger contracts, so you can get in your contract, but there wasn't any. And then he was like, "Hey man, like if you guys want to go to Ranger school and there's no Army Ranger contracts, the easiest thing to do is to join as infantry. And then when you're in infantry school, basic training, boot camp, whatever, they're gonna ask you if you want to go to Ranger school, and all you gotta do is say yes, and they'll send you." Fucking lie, not true.
Damn.
So we joined the infantry. We ended up getting split up at boot camp. He ended up going to a different unit. I went to a different unit, and it was just completely different from what I thought it was gonna be. Like, you know, it was. I mean, it was tough, you know.
Yeah.
But it was tough, but it wasn't tough. Like, I'm a pretty mentally strong person, and I was physically strong too at the time. I mean, I still am. But yeah, I joined the infantry. Infantry, you go to boot camp in Georgia, and then I went to the 101st Airborne in Nashville area, gotcha. Tennessee, Kentucky area, and then my friend Jonathan went to Germany. Damn. And like, so we had completely different experiences, because I you know, he went to an Op 4 unit, which what they do is like they train. It's like before we deploy to Afghanistan, we go to a unit, a different base, and we train there to make sure we're ready to go.
Gotcha.
And what he did was he played the opposition force, so the guys that we were like killing or whatever. Yeah. Like he played, and he did that his whole contract. So it was very different from mine, to where I went to a unit that deploys every other year. So I went to like a gung ho fucking unit. Like it was high speed as hell. So I'm glad I did, because that's what I wanted to do, you know? But yeah, I went there. My unit, I just reconnected with them too. It's funny that we're on this podcast now, because I just like a couple months ago, I reached out to, or one of my friends, one of my veteran homies reached out to me, and you know, we got in touch and shit, and we were going like back in time, talking about like stories and deployment stories, just Army stories, and fucking, it's cool.
You got like one crazy story from infantry that you could share?
Man,
like a crazy one. If not as good, but
no,
I'm just curious.
Yeah. I mean, no, we can. I don't want to probably overshare, but yeah, I'll point out some key funny stories, I guess. Well, my unit was high speed. We were fucking, even my platoon in my company, like, so we're 101st Airborne high speed unit already. Yeah. We're in the 1502 strike brigade, high speed. Like, I don't know if 101st Airborne, that unit was in fucking on D-Day. Like, they were it's a fucking, you know what I mean? It's a prestigious unit. Went to air assault school, did all the cool shit. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I had the leadership that pushed me to do it. You know, because there was a lot of people who quit. You know, and played the suicide card and got kicked out of the military and shit like that. But I had great leadership, and so we were very, very, very high speed. Every competition we would win it, because we would just like, that's everyone. Who you guys were. Yeah, we were the ones. Like, everyone would run 2 miles, we'd run 5 miles, just because we wanted to fucking be better. Like, you know, which again, that also
transfers over to what you do now.
To what I do now. Totally. Like, learned how to lead. Learned
how to go the extra mile.
Yeah. Like, not to quit, not give up, keep going. Deployed a year in.
Where'd you deploy to? Afghanistan?
Afghanistan, yeah, we're in Afghanistan. Crazy stories. I don't know. The first time we got shot at was probably crazy.
I was gonna say, what was like that like?
So I remember. So we're
I
walking.
feel like that's got to be like for the first time ever.
It's
like,
a crazy feeling.
Yeah, I'm just, like that feeling's got to be crazy. Where it's like, yo, these fools are trying to kill us right now.
Yeah. So all right. So this was probably like a month into deployment. So when you first get there, you have to go to Bagram Airfield and you like in process there, you know, and then you were there for 2 weeks, and then we went to our actual like area of operation and shit. And so it was probably like 2 weeks after we started patrolling, and we were clearing a riverbed for like mines or IEDs or whatever. And we're walking through it. It was just our platoon. And we're like in our formation, like in our tactical formation and shit. But we're in the middle we're like in a riverbed. So there's like hills on this side and hills on this side. So we're like
in a fishbowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're in the fucking center. And we're walking, and my friend had everyone in the squad, there was 2 people in each squad who had like mining equipment. Yeah. So it would read like electrical currents, and then there were some that would read like holes underneath and shit.
Like ground penetrating radar stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So
GPR.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I don't know how you know that.
Okay, so when I was like in high school, I wrestled in high school, and my wrestling coach.
Me too.
My wrestling coach was a Navy SEAL, and that was like ever since I was a little kid, that was always my number one goal in life was to be a SEAL. So I like spent my whole childhood doing like military shit, you know, trying to be like getting my Nerf guns painted camo and like trying to hold my breath for 3 minutes and like all that. Yeah. And then when I got into high school and he was like, you know, I was a SEAL, and then I told him that's what I was trying to do, and like that was gonna be my direct route. And then I got in a really gnarly bike accident where I lost my AC joint in my right arm completely. So I lost my ball and socket in my right arm. So it took me like a year and a half to like even remotely try and get back to mobility. And then by that time, like I had tried to go to different recruiters and different stuff, and like I could never get cleared fully to go to basic. And like they were giving me other options of like, you know, you could do this, maybe you could do SWIC, like you could do other like spec op type stuff, maybe in a Marine, maybe do recon, stuff like that. And I was just like so dead set. I was like, if I can't be a SEAL, like I don't want to do it. Which I hate that I had that mindset, because like I definitely probably could have done something, but like that was just my goal forever. And like so that's why like I'm very like, so you know, you were I was very heavy into it. And so it's like that was always my goal when I was younger, and that's like the reason why I train the way I do, and the reason the physical challenges that I do, because it's like I always try and like keep myself in that kind of shape. And like just because I just have a huge amount of respect for anybody, military personnel, and anybody that served. Like I think people just
I mean, it's tough.
So it's like I always have a huge amount of respect for people who do that, and who win, and who serve, and who I feel did their duty for, you know, the country.
I mean, you make it your life for a set amount of years, and then it sticks with you for life. I feel like
for sure. But anyway, continue. That's how I knew GPR.
Yeah. Cool. So back to the story. So we're walking, and we heard a pop shot. Like we heard a round go overhead, and we're like, you know, and we all went down because you're trained.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure.
So just like that, we go down, and we're like, okay, what's the next move? And I remember our lieutenant, he had Peltors on. You don't know if you know what Peltors are. So he had them connected to his radios. They muff out bullets so it wouldn't hurt your ears. So he was standing around, and then one of our team leaders, he's like, "Sir, get the fuck down." And he gets down, and then boom, more shots go off, and now they're like shooting at us, you know.
And you guys are in a riverbed, and they got the high ground.
And we're
so
like,
it's like, fuck.
What the fuck? And so one of my team leaders, like, there was a kalat. A kalat's like a mud hut, like a mud building or whatever, small little mud hut. So they're like, "Oh, start bounding." So we start running towards it, but that's when it got scary because I start seeing like bullets kick up dust around us and shit. So and then I look up,
close.
Yeah, and I start seeing. I look up. There was a hill on the left, and we had a gun team up there. Shout out them, man. They had a 240 Lima, and they started letting off. That's the big gun. That's the pig.
Yeah.
And they started letting off. It felt good.
That's a big dog.
But at the same time, I look up and I start seeing dust kick up right beneath them. So their bullets are getting close to them, and those are my guys. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Fucking Michael's my guy. Miller, like they're up there and they're about to fucking get fucking smoked. You know.
Yeah.
So it was fucking. That was like your butthole puckers up and you're like adrenaline kicks in. Yeah. You're like, you're running. And that's
where all the training is like,
exactly.
It's for
like,
right now.
Oh shit. Like
this is real.
And it's also like, oh, this could end very bad. Like this is it. Like here we are. This
execute,
is what we
execute.
Exactly. We start performing our battle drill. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. But I remember once we got to that mud hut, and my friend, his name's Hedrick. He'll never like agree. He'll never admit it. But he was one of the guys carrying the mining equipment, and he looks, and I look down, and he's like below me, like on a knee, and he's holding it, and he's like scared as hell, like he's like, what do I do with this? And he's like, look, and I'm just like I don't know, fucking drop it, put it somewhere, tie it to something, like make sure you can fucking shoot.
I was gonna say,
yeah, and then we ended up taking care of whoever fucking shot us. They didn't win, we won.
Clearly,
but their fucking casualty team and other like veterans who've ever been in certain situations can attest. Like they're fucking quick. Like they fucking drop. Like it's hard to find their bodies after. Like they fucking whoever comes and picks them up and takes them. You know what I mean? Like they're fucking
quick.
Casevac team is crazy. But that was the first time we ever got shot at.
Damn, and it was crazy.
It was
a moment to never forget.
Yeah, like I'll never change that for anything. Like it's crazy.
Sure. Made you who you are.
Moment. Yeah, like that's why I joined.
Yeah, I was gonna say you wanted the action. You got some action.
Yeah. And to this day, like, like I did lose some friends, and I lost friends after the war was the war keeps going, but PTSD. Yeah. Like since we came back, like 6 of my friends have taken their own lives,
Damn.
In like different ways. Like one of them jumped off a bridge, one of them fucking shot himself in the head, one of them stabbed himself. That's the most gruesome one. He stabbed himself till he couldn't stab himself anymore. Like, it's like how do
you do that?
It's crazy.
Fuck.
And I think what it is I've talked to some of my other friends because I stayed connected to a couple people. And I think what it is when you don't find a purpose after.
Exactly. That's always the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Look at any war movie however take them for what they are, or anyone that's served or even that's much older that was in an older war is like, finding your purpose after you get out will save your life. Like,
yeah. No, facts. And that's why I feel like I'm so lucky. I mean, like I said, I've had hiccups and shit, like. Because, life's hard, but...
Come on now.
But...
If it was easy, fuck.
Yeah.
Everyone would do it, but everyone has to do it.
Yeah,
so,
right,
I mean...
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, I was talking to one of my buddies, and he was explaining to me his low point, and he's like, dude, I'm a fucking manager at a fucking Target. Like, you go from fighting...
being everything you wanted to be.
Yeah, like, dude, the feeling of being inside a helicopter... with night vision in the middle of the night, fucking 2 a.m, going to do fucking Overwatch on a fucking village in the middle of the night in a fucking random country full of terrorists, like, and you look out the fucking window and there's fucking other helicopters lined up in a formation, like, and you get dropped off in the middle of the night, like, it just, your fucking balls are fucking, like,
it's real.
It's real. It feels like, damn, this feeling is crazy, like it's a crazy feeling. Like if you ever like Lone Survivor when they get that, I've been through that. Like when I watched that movie, I was like, yo, it just took me back. Like just getting dropped off in the middle of the night, like and getting off and you're in your night vision and shit, and like and then you go back to regular life where you're just a fucking,
what do I do?
Yeah. If you end up being just a fucking manager at a fucking Target, like you know what I mean? Like,
I went from this to this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people's lives fall apart, and then you cope with, and then you lose friends, like, or whatever, and life just gets fucking overwhelming. You fall into alcohol. I was drinking for a while, but I think that's what happens. That's why some people don't make it out of that,
Yeah.
And I've been lucky because as soon as I got out, I came back to California. I went to school for a little bit using the GI Bill, and then slowly started getting into like video production, and like I was just shooting random stuff like on GoPros and shit, and then like slowly people started like hitting me up, and I also, because I was making music too, and then I shot my own music videos, and then people seen them, and they're like, "Oh, how much do you charge?" And I remember like the first time I got a $200 budget, I was like, "Oh, damn. Shit, like this is cool.
We're going crazy."
Yeah, we going crazy. I'm getting paid off of this shit. This is fun to me, you know?
Yeah, right.
And then so that happened, and then I had just got a job at a school district, being like a teacher's aide and shit, while going to college. But at that, like I had been there for like a month, and then I started getting hit up by like bigger artists and companies and shit, and I was like, and then I started getting like bigger budgets, and then it was pretty fast. So like I got out 2016, and then by 2017, like mid 2017, I landed my first like big client. And it wasn't like 2016, I'm getting out, I know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I was just like,
let me try this
shit, or like I was fucking around. I actually was gonna be a fucking mailman, like,
shit.
Like I just was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I'm just trying to survive right now, And then mid 2017, I started working with Phora and yours truly, and then I was like, man, fuck this shit. But I was already getting I was living off of like shooting videos, like I was living off of it, and then I landed that client, and then I started doing that, and then I
started just doing all this shit.
Yeah, start doing all this shit.
And that's exactly what we're about to dive into next is where we're at currently.
Yep.
And what we're doing, and we're going to dive in here in just a sec. I have to piss like a fucking racehorse.
Go ahead.
We're going to take a quick break. I got to take a pee. We'll be right back. You know the deal. We're fucking back. Sorry I had to pee hella bad. So did he. We got to take a little break. But we back. So, man, yeah, that whole first half, that was dope, dude. We kind of dove into childhood, where you came from, the military, all that, and now we're into the meat of things, where Sixth Element, where Brian Robles is now, present day. For those of you who don't know, he is a producer, film director, just an incredible creative. His work is absolutely phenomenal. If you guys don't follow him or don't watch his YouTube or just follow shit that he does, I really highly recommend that you guys do. I mean, he's worked with Phora, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know. You just did Toosii's music video. Now you just shot a video with Larry June, and it's just I admire the accomplishments. I admire everything that you've done and everything that you've built. And I know that you just announced your latest project.
Yeah.
Company. We're going to save that. I'm just going to tell you guys that he's announced it, and I'm going to let you dive into a little bit of what that is and what that entails. And also, before we dive in and start asking some questions, I just wanted to give you major props and a congratulations on the gold plaque, the RIA certified plaque that you got for Toosii's music video. Yeah. That's huge. That's a big deal. Yeah. That's a big fucking deal to get a certified plaque for something that I
had even forgot that was possible, and then I woke up to it and I was like, wow, oh shit, like this is cool, because I used to make music, so that's, you know what I mean, like getting a plaque is dope.
Oh hell yeah, bro, that's like the goal always is like,
and it was like a motivator too, because I'm like, fuck, my wall's empty, bro, I gotta get more. Like,
I need more.
Yeah.
So the film shit. This was where we just left off. Obviously, is was the out of the military. You was figuring it out. You was like, let me try this. You did the GoPro little videos. Just had certain people hitting you up. Got your first little budgets. Where you at? Where you at right now?
Yeah. So, I mean, everything kind of grew fast. Like, I would say, I remember like a few months into it, I got my first like $30,000 budget.
Damn.
And I was like, okay, like this is the big leagues,
Yeah.
you know. And then, you know, since then I've shot a lot of like bigger budgets. I mean, and even that's not where I want to be. Like I want to shoot $500K budgets, you know. I want to
do some crazy shit.
Yeah, like fucking eventually movies and shit. Like I want to shoot at fucking stadiums and fucking, you know, just crazy fucking crazy productions. Like because I have a lot of, and to this day I still work with smaller budgets. You know, I'm not bougie. I don't, you know, if I fuck with it, like I'm a creative person, so I need to let it out. You know?
Sure. Well, that's what, like the video you shot for me.
We shot a video
that wasn't even. That was a fucking very small budget, and it like everyone was like, "Yo, this looks like a fucking movie."
Yeah. No, I go crazy with whatever,
and that says
whatever
a lot.
We could do.
That says a lot about you as a creator, and just like how seriously you take what you do. Yeah. Because like a lot of people would look at that and be like, "Oh, it's not a $30K budget or the $500K budget I'm after." Like, I'm gonna treat it as such, not like, what can we do to get the most bang out of the buck to make it look like a movie, like to do it absolutely the best we could possibly do it with what we have.
We got in that cold ass water. Like,
dude,
it was fucking cold.
For those of you who have seen, so he shot my first release of the year, Palm of Your Hand. He shot the music video for that. He and Nate did. Yeah, shout out Nate. Yeah, shout out Nate for real.
Cause Nate, I
didn't even. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't even know you until you pulled up and you was in the car, and I was like, yeah. But when you guys watch that video, so everything we basically like had planned, like all the desert shots with Abby, and then like we knew we wanted to go to the beach, and then we went to the beach, and then like we was all like, dude, wait, we need like an end scene. We need like a this is the end type vibe. And then Brian looks at me, he's like, dude, I don't know if you're down for it, but I'm telling you, I think you should jump in the water. Mind you, we shot in Pismo Beach, which from my house, Pismo Beach is like a cool 5.5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's a push.
Yeah.
So I was like thinking to myself, I was like, dude, if I jump in this fucking ocean in what I wore on set, I'm going to have to drive home soaking ass wet, sandy as shit, all the way home. And you know what? I fucking did. And it made it. It made it.
Yeah. And
that's a lot of people's favorite scene.
Yeah. I'm not gonna cap. So the 2 days prior to that, I was on set till like 6 a.m. The day we shot that, I had just come off set 6 a.m. I got home literally like an hour later. Nate was at my crib, so I slept on the way to there. But before I fell asleep, me and Nate, I was like, bro, play the song. Let's just make sure we have everything. And I'm not gonna cap, I had the water thing already in the back of my head. I was like, I hope he's down. I'm setting you up. So when we got there, I was like,
see if he's down.
Yeah. So I'm glad you were down though. Bro. I love that. I love when an artist fucking like puts their fucking passion into it too. You know, there's some artists who are just like, nah, it's cool like that, or you know, or like I'll be like, I'll make a suggestion because I care about this shit. You know, I fucking want it, and then on top of caring for it, like it's also my image too and my work, and I want to always. It's my reputation. I want to make sure shit always comes out top quality because I don't ever want to tarnish that. You know,
exactly.
I always want to keep scaling up. So sometimes artists would be like, I'll be like, yo, let's do another take like this, and they're like, nah, it's cool.
I think the first take was good.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, how much longer we got? And I'm like, I mean, how much longer you?
Yeah, how much longer you want to be here?
I'll go in this bitch, like
yeah.
You know? But yeah, no, I appreciate you fucking.
Nah, that scene.
Cause I got a little way. I went down to like ankles and shit, but you went, you know.
I went sack deep.
Yeah, you went sack deep.
I went sack deep.
I got like a knee deep.
Yeah,
probably,
it was. That bitch was cold. But like dude, I swear it was all worth it. Like when you get to the end of the video and I'm holding the necklace in my hand. And then I toss it.
The emotion.
The emotion and just the waves. And then you get the shot where it's the moon in the back. And I'm standing there and there's the red light. And I'm just like, as like the necklace is gone, it's in the water, it's gone forever. The whole story like makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that shot is, dude, it was so worth it. I remember seeing the final product. I was like, man, if I didn't get in that water, I would have off myself. Like,
yeah, it wouldn't have come out of
Nah.
I hate, look, especially in this, I don't even want to put out this game, but I'm gonna do it. There's a thing that a lot of people do. Look, we're in a TikTok age. People get bored fast. I hate when I do videos and it's just repetitive.
Yeah.
And when you see like 30 seconds of the video, like you've pretty much seen the whole video because the rest of the video is like the same. They're standing with their bros or their homies or their girls, and like we already like I like introducing something new every like 30 seconds. latest, like I like to introduce something as like a minute, but I always like to change it up and just to keep the viewer watching. Attention. We're making a film, like we're not just
making a film,
making a promo fucking content piece,
exactly.
Like, you know, which
for sure.
Yeah,
I think that's so crucial.
Yeah.
Like that, I very much try and do that in my music as well. Like what I like. Events, moments, like maybe something that only happens one time at 30 seconds, never happens again, or vice versa. Maybe it only happens on the outro of the song, or there's something new coming in, whether like you may not hear it, but like you would notice if it was gone type thing. Yeah. Like for that very like same concept. It's an experience. Yes. Like you want to create moments.
Yeah.
Like,
for the people to remember, moments. It got to be memorable, and that's how I approach.
Has to be.
And I encourage other creatives to approach any projects like that.
Yeah,
you want to invoke emotion,
dude. Oh, man, that is what I'm all about, is evoking the emotion.
Yeah.
It's real. It's got to be real. I'm coming from a place of realness. Like I feel this way. I felt this way. This is how I feel right now. That's why I'm making this, or that's how you're filming this. That's why the colors look like the way they do, or anything like that.
Yeah.
So some of the list of the people, I kind of briefly said it as I introed here, but Phora, Toosii.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't even know about Larry June until literally you just came on.
Last minute too, and
until you came on the fucking show. That's huge. Everybody knows Larry June.
Yeah, a lot of. Sometimes things just, especially this day and age, things come last minute. I heard about that. I shot it yesterday. They hit me up about it the night before. Yeah, and I was like, I'm pretty creative, so I just work with what I got. You know, and we shot some cool shit. So
dope.
Should come out soon. But yeah, so that's where I'm at now. Astro Kids.
I was just gonna say that's kind of where I wanted to go.
That's my company. So I've actually
just announced it.
I just announced it. So I've had my own production company for some time now. I've been running all my productions through my own company, but I just never branded it and never like
made it an entity.
Made it an entity, and now that's what, because I didn't really touch on it, but I like to think I'm a marketer. Like, I'm good at marketing and shit. I did marketing for Yours Truly Clothing for a couple years. We scaled that company up to like millions and shit, you know, just through good marketing, good advertising, doing ads, you know, having the right people on.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know, man. I'm a curator. I don't know. I'm a creative director.
You're creative.
Yeah.
In all aspects.
I'm always thinking. I'm always zoned out, dude. I be thinking about the craziest shit when I'm walking down the street. Like,
for real.
You know? But and then it helps out. It helps out with what I'm doing, you know. But for sure. Astro Kids. So now I have Astro Kids, and what I want to do with it is bring other creatives on to where it's a production company. So so when I was first starting out,
Lemonade type.
Yeah, so when I was first starting out, I you know, when I first got my first like $30,000 budget, or like I had to use other production companies because I didn't know how to put it together. I wasn't a producer yet. I just was like, I have these ideas and I want to make them happen, and I don't know somebody with a crane who can fucking make me get the shot that I want from overhead, and you know, like whatever. Like I just didn't. So now it's letting other creators who need help, you know, putting things together, whether they don't know how to handle a $50,000 production, like we can do it, you know, things like that. And I just wanted like get to the point where I'm just executive producing things, you know, where like I'm putting it together,
and you sit back and watch
it happen. And that's really what the goal with it, on top of digital assets. So now we're doing digital assets as well. Since I've been making videos or content, I've always gotten questions of like, oh, how'd you color this, or how'd you edit this, or whatever. So now I'm selling like preset packs just to like make it easier for other creatives coming up, you know.
Damn.
But there, it's you know, like this is what I do. Like this is how I eat. This is how I survive. Like there's a way to do it, and I encourage anybody who loves something, like there's a way. Just figure out a way to monetize it and make a living off of it. So you don't want to fucking blow your brains out doing something you don't want to do. You know, because I could sit at a desk if I'm doing something. Like I could sit at my desk all day, like working on a video budget, on a treatment or whatever. Like, but I can't sit at my desk all day doing fucking like inventory for a fucking company. That doesn't fucking mean anything to me. Like, you know.
Damn.
So
I got a question for you. So, how you said we are obviously very much in the TikTok age, and
yeah.
we're just very much. I've said this on multiple podcasts because it's just the reality. It's the age we're fucking in. So many people want to be a creator. So many people want to be an artist, want to be a film producer, want to make videos, want to do all this and shit. Yeah. You've done a lot in a short amount of time, per se, since you really were like, let me give this a shot.
Yeah.
Like, you have a fucking plaque. Like, you're working with world-known artists. Like, you're making shit happen. What would you say was, like, your secret sauce or your key to success of, like, how you went from you're out of the military, I'm going to be a mailman because I don't know what the fuck I want to do, to now, you know, you're working with multi-$10,000 budgets, sometimes even more. You're working with artists like this and you're really doing shit. You're feeding yourselves. You're looking for a crib, you know, like, you're really making shit happen for yourself. And you've done it and you're continuing to do it. Like, you still have so much more you want to do with Astro Kids and bigger budgets. And like you said, you want to shoot fucking stadiums and all this shit. But, like, what would you say, like, was the real key thing for you that, like, got you to where you are now?
Man, I wish I could say something but like what works for me might not work for somebody else.
Totally.
And the only thing that I can really say, and it sounds cliche, is that I'm a fucking go-getter. Like, I can't sit still, and I'm always thinking about the next thing, and it also comes down to survival. And I don't approach any of my projects on a survival, you know, level, and I haven't done that since maybe the early days, you know, when I first. But even then, I wasn't, because I was doing other things, you know, till this started being able to fund my life. Then I started just fully going in on this. But yeah, I would say don't get into something because you think it's the easy way or I don't know. You see somebody else, like, that's one thing.
No risk, no reward.
Exactly. Like, I don't buy into anyone's like success like that. Like, oh, he's fucking driving around in supercars. Like, what does he do? Maybe I should try that. Like, I don't
think that way,
because it probably won't work for me, because I'm not as passionate about what he does. Like, I'm not as passionate
to make that happen.
Yeah, like, I'm passionate about what I do.
Dude, I think that's I love that. I think, like, almost like don't chase a passion because you think that is gonna, like, bring you what they have, because it's not your passion.
Exactly.
Like, don't be a passion chaser.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's a fine line too between, like, trying different things and like like doing, like, oh, well, maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do this. Like, I'm always an advocate for that until, like, you find what you want to do, but, like, don't be that, like, passion chaser where it's like, oh, homie's driving supercars, homie's hanging out with the baddest fucking chicks, like, in a fucking X amount of dollar house, or he's doing this, hanging out with so and so, like, let me try and be that. But it's like, well, what if your passion's making strawberry jam?
Hey, man.
Hey, then you fucking make the best strawberry jam ever, and it'll blow up.
It's inevitable, dude. Like, yeah, man. I've said this all the time.
Don't passion chase.
Anyone who I met that was successful, just
I love that.
Believes it. There's not a doubt in their fucking mind, and they go back to the military. Like, do shit. If you're gonna do something, do it to the best of your fucking ability. I remember one time.
Don't do it right, or don't do it at all.
Exactly. This thing always stuck to me, and it's ingrained in me. Like, shout out to CMP, Sergeant Ponce. He was my first, like, squad leader when I got to 101st Airborne. I've learned so much from that guy, and I hated him at the time. I fucking hated him. Like, this motherfucker, you know. Like, and then to describe you who Sergeant Ponce is, he grew up in Dade County, has fucking Dade 305, ex fucking gangbanger, has fucking outlaw fucking tattooed on his stomach, like, dude. But he fucking deployed like 4 or 5 times, something like that, 5, maybe more now. But was in Fallujah, like, in the initial fucking invasion, like, fucking. He was in a tank and it blew up, and he has, like, battery acid scars all over his legs and shit. Like, just a fucking hardcore dude, you know? And he there was a lot of things that he taught us, you know, that I carry to this day. And I've connected with other people who were in that squad, and they say the same thing. And we just connected with him a couple months ago. And we want to do a reunion, but there's one of the things he said was, somebody fucked something up, and we were getting smoked. Like, you know, that we're doing push-ups and, like, making us do shit. And he was like, and he said, look, man, I don't give a fuck if your job is to secure a fucking road. It's gonna be the most fucking secure road you ever fucking did Overwatch on. If the fucking major has to clean the fucking toilet, you better be able to eat fucking off of that toilet. Like, it better be the cleanest fucking toilet in the fucking planet. Like, you know, and that stuck to me. So that's why I do everything to
the best of your ability.
To the best of my ability with whatever I can do.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Exactly. But I also, back to the passion chasing, like, definitely try new things. I be trying different shit, but if you don't enjoy it, like, don't chase it, you know, because you're gonna enjoy something.
You'll know what your passion is. I feel like, or maybe,
like video shit for me. Like,
I feel that way. I feel like some people might not feel that way, but I feel that way. I feel like you will find like what you love doing. Like, out of anything, like, you're like, I would never rather be doing anything else than what I'm doing right now. And it's like, whenever you find that, no matter what it is, like, do it and do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah. Like I've been on set sometimes, and it's stressful because there's a lot of moving parts sometimes. You know, when you have a fucking $35,000 budget or 40 or 50, whatever, like, there's a lot of moving parts, and sometimes things aren't matching up to the schedule, and I'd be fucking stressing out. But at the end of the day, like, I'd rather be doing this shit than fucking stocking shelves at fucking Target or some shit, you know?
Come on.
But yeah, so try new things. You'll find something.
Yeah, but don't passion chase.
Don't passion chase. For me, the video shit. I used to have a fucking VHS camera with my brother when we were kids, and we used to do like videos of like what Vine or TikTok is now. Like, we would press record, and then stop, and then press record, and then, you know what I mean. And we would do like little at home skits and shit, where like, just dumb shit. But I've always liked it, and then once I started doing it as an adult, I was like, yo, like, I love this shit. I love getting a fucking shot that, like, I don't know, I love beautiful images.
Yeah, you're
just
like,
or creating a story and creating emotion, and, you know, I love it. I love making people
feel a certain type of
way. Feel a certain way, see what I have here, putting it on the screen and letting them see it, and like,
and when they connect, it's like, man, it makes it all
huge.
worth it. Oh, bro, it's all like, that's always like what I say, or like, I know that any other artist, like, whether, doesn't matter what type of artist you are, is like, when you get that type of like message from someone or whoever, whether you know them or you don't know them, where it's like, yo, I really felt this song, or like this shit really moved me, or like, I really felt this video, like this shot, like, I don't know, it did something to me, dude. Like, that's what it's all about.
And I get those messages, you know,
for sure. Often, and every so often, like, you get them, and like, I feel like it's so funny because they always come at times when you're like, when you're kind of down,
dude.
And it's like,
crazy you say that,
dude. No, it is. It always comes to the times where it's like, man, do I really want to be doing this? Is this shit gonna work? Like, blah 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 blah. And then like that one message comes through from fucking Jimmy Pants in India or whatever, and it's like, or maybe it's one of your boys or someone that you haven't talked to in a while. And it's like, yo, like, it could be literally just something as simple as where it's like, yo, like, just heard your new song, really fuck with it.
Yeah.
And just like something so slight like that will like take you out of where you just were.
Bro,
like, I can do this. Like, you know, like, people do fuck with it. Like, people do connect with it, and like, that's why you do it. Like, they always come at the times when you're down like that. And it's so funny. I think it's just so funny how the universe works like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, and we're fucking back. We took a little break, and my dog shit on my living room rug.
Got you. It was a soft one too.
Dude, yeah. God damn. Right. Milo. Fucker. You better hope that shit comes out. You're cute, though, so it's okay. Not really, but god damn it. So, where we left off on was the fucking, we thought it was how those, you know, moments of realization, like when someone admires your work or connects with what you do. Right. Like, it always comes at the times when you're down, when you're maybe not feeling so well about what you do and how you're doing it. Maybe you have doubts, and like, you'll get hit with some shit like that. And like, just like how you said on the, like, how much you value creating emotion and like making films and like memories and making it memorable for people in moments, and not just putting out content and putting out videos to do it. Like, and that's like, because like, we haven't even known each other that long at all, but like, I don't know why. Maybe like subliminally or subconsciously, like that's why I fuck with you so heavy. Cause like I'm 110% that way in my music. Like I refuse to make and release anything if it doesn't have a sentimental value to me.
Yeah.
Or like is a vision in my head or a feeling or an emotion that like I need to get out and like hope someone can connect with it. Because I just feel like, you know, my theory is that I feel like music is meant to be felt, not to be heard. Like you should feel it.
Yeah.
Like it should make you move in a way, whether that's you want to dance or whether you like, yo, I need to take a second or, you know, just something
or
like.
it feels you like with motivation.
Yeah, with
or
motivation
or whatever.
Anything. Like something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like very much I can transfer it into the video aspect of things.
Yeah.
Like, why would you just want to put clips together and do whatever or whatever? Like, if it's not an experience, something where someone's going to remember it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm thankful because, like, I've been working with Phora for a long time, and a lot of the videos we've pushed out were very, like, creative, you know? And it's crazy because, and his fan base is crazy, too. Like, and they know because I've been the one doing his videos for the last, like, 4 years, you know? And so, like, I was in Puerto Rico, and, like, a fan noticed me and took a picture with me. I'd be at the mall, and people, you know, like, people notice me and shit, and they're like, oh, do you know the director, Sixth Element? And I'm like, yeah, like, that's me. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you look like him. Oh, can we get a picture? Like, you know, I've and a lot of it is because, and shout out to Phora, his music too speaks to a lot of people. He has,
of course.
You know, so,
bro, I've been listening to Phora since like before To the Moon came out.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, that's a long time ago. Yeah.
I wanna be
crazy. It's crazy. Like Kylie Jenner be listening to that. She be posting it on her story.
Bro, I remember when that song came out like years ago, and I was like, yo, this shit is crazy.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, and yeah, no, even too, like people connecting with that with the visuals that I put out, you know. So I have some artist friends who the videos aren't so creative, and you know I'll do it because I'm gonna give my friend a fire video, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely love creative shit, you know, and yeah, like
artistic
we were saying,
shit.
There's times where like I'm working on a treatment and I'm like, man, like I'm not as motivated, and then people, other creatives too, like a lot of creatives follow me, a lot of videographers, you know, directors, filmmakers, upcoming filmmakers, whatever, hit me up and they're like, bro, like the shit you do is inspiring, and that inspires me and shit. And I'm like, let's go. Like, yeah, I'm
on the right path.
Yeah,
for sure. You said something that I want to ask because I ask this to everybody that's in the position that you are, that's in the field that they are. You literally just said my next question is, some people reach out to you and say, you know, this is motivating, this is inspiring. Yeah. Like, what would you say would be like a piece of advice or words of encouragement or something to a upcoming videographer, filmer, producer, someone that does what you do or wants to do what you do, and like know that they found their passion and that and that this is it, and they look at you, whether they follow you or they find you on their Explorer or whatever, like if they were to DM you and reach out to you, or anybody like that's going to listen to this, because there's a lot of videographers and just creators that listen to this show, like, what would you say would be like a piece of advice for someone like that? As
cliche as it sounds, if you're passionate about it, just don't quit. Like, just don't quit. Especially if you're talented too. If you're talented with it, you know, and it's a natural thing for you, like, don't quit. Like, success, you know, thankfully for me, like, I don't want to say it happened fast, but like it's always been on a gradual, like, slope, you know, uphill slope, which is good. But there has been hiccups, and you know, I was telling you when we walked out, like, I've done other things, written music and things like that. Like, that's something I have a little passion for it, but it's not like every day I think about it, you know? Yeah. But I would just say don't quit. There's a lot of people that I've met in my life who are super talented, and they don't believe, you know? They don't believe, and you gotta believe. You gotta believe in yourself before anybody else. Eventually, dude, I say this all the time. If you're on an island and you're trying to get to the mainland, that's your destination. You're on a boat and you're rowing. Like, if you keep rowing, you're gonna get there. You're gonna fucking get there eventually. Like, and it might not happen fast. The current might be going the opposite way, and it might take a little longer and shit. But you'll get there. You'll only not get there if you quit. Exactly. If you just stop.
That was literally like the Instagram reel that I posted today with this audio of Steve Harvey, where it's like the guarantee of quitting is that it will never happen.
Yep.
That is the only guarantee. No way under the sun if you quit that it will ever happen. Yeah. There is no chance. You gotta just always keep the wheels turning. So we're gonna fucking wrap up the episode here. I'm gonna ask you 2 final questions.
Cool.
Question number 1 life advice. Ooh. This can be a career, like what you do. This doesn't have to be. This can be something. This could be as a human, as a being, an individual. One piece of life advice that you would give to the people that are listening, the people that are watching. Yeah. A final statement type thing. A one life advice question.
All right, I got it because I'm dealing with it, kind of.
There we go.
I mean, and I'm 28. I'm not as fucking wise as I want to be, but I have advice to give to people. Of course, I've been through a lot of shit.
Yeah, you live life.
Yeah, but one thing that I can say, and I'm not gonna go to the cliches, but one thing that I can say is fucking ownership. Ownership is everything. Like, whatever you do, whether it's getting into a business, getting into something new you want to do, whatever it is, like, I don't know, podcasting, music, whatever, like, ownership is everything, dude. Like, I've learned, and I've been through this, like, I've been at a place for years, giving my life up for it, and then to leave with nothing. Yeah. With whatever business you want to start, companies you want to start, anything you want to start, like, ownership is everything. If you're gonna stop your life to put your whole life into something, like, make sure that
you own it,
because whoever owns it one day can just wake up and be like, I don't like the way you fucking smell today, like, you're out, and those years that you spent doing whatever don't mean anything at all. Like, experience, sure, but like, you don't have nothing tangible, you don't have anything besides that.
I like that a lot, because I feel like that's not a cliche. That's not a cliche answer.
I feel like people have I want to
say something more cheesy, cornier, which is like, it isn't, but like, but I love.
I just wanted to give something that people probably wouldn't give out too much.
Like,
but
whatever
ownership.
you do, own it. Like, own it more in the actual, like, literal sense. Like, own it.
Yeah.
Not like, sure, own your mistakes or like, obviously, but like, whatever you do, own it. Make sure it's yours. Yeah. That nobody can take it from you.
No one could take it from you. Make sure. Yeah.
I love that.
Yep. That's fire. That's one.
That's fire.
Out from the hip.
Yeah. Boom. So we're gonna move on to the last question of the fucking show. It is 7 on 7 song of the day.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm put you on the spot. You can pick one song off your playlist. It could be an album, it could be a single, it could be EP, it could be anything. You just gotta pick a song of the fucking day.
Dang. Let me go to my Spotify.
Brian Robles, 6 Elements, 7 on 7 song of the day is Q's Jeopardy music.
Look, here's the thing, man. I have such a wide range of music.
Yeah, same.
Like, I can listen, dude. Country music, like, people fucking, especially in California, hate it. Like, I love it. I love it. I used to hate it too, because I was, I grew up out here and shit. And then when I went to the military, people would play it all the time. And then it grew on me. Like, if Spotify Wrapped, like, thousands of genres, it says. Like, dude, I listen to anything, so it's fucking kind of hard.
Song of the day.
I'm gonna use this opportunity.
Do it.
To plug an artist that I am managing.
Okay.
Upcoming artist, young kid, 20. I think he just turned 20. Do we play it on here? I'm gonna play it.
We're gonna say it, and then I'll put in the link.
The song is not out yet, but I will send it to you, and maybe you can link.
I can link his socials and stuff, that people can go follow him and keep up to date on what's going on. But who's the artist?
The artist, his name is Rara.
Rara.
I just started managing him. Super talented, super talented. And yeah, he's gonna make some noise. He's like, I would compare him to like a Roddy Ricch.
There you go. That sounds
talented.
Hot.
So I'm gonna use that opportunity to plug him in.
Nah, that's real. That's fucking love that you just wanted to plug someone that you're working with too.
Because it's been on like I mean he has like 30 songs, 40 songs recorded already. He's just starting out and he's on repeat. So it's not like I'm just trying to plug somebody.
Yeah. But you actually fucking with it.
Yeah, I love it. I listen to it and bump it in the car and all.
Boom. So there we go. Rah. I will link his socials and everything in the description to the video so you guys can go follow him, check him out. Follow him on Spotify, Instagram, all that shit.
Yep.
But that's going to fucking do it, guys. That's going to be episode number 6 of 7 on 7. Once again, my fucking boy. Yeah, 6. Episode 6 for Sixth Element.
Yep.
Once again, my fucking boy. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Nah, for real.
This is the first time I've ever done this.
Hey, I'm glad that I
loved it.
I'm glad that I could be the first podcast that you fucking came on. It's an honor. I really appreciate it.
Hopefully when it blows up even more,
that's what I'm saying.
We can get a part 2.
Hey, don't worry. We're going to have a podcast studio one day.
Go.
I'm telling you, that's the plans. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you driving out. I had a fucking pleasure talking with you. I will put all the links to all his work in the description in the bio on Spotify and Apple, on YouTube. Make sure you guys go follow him. Keep up with what the fuck this man is doing. He's on some big shit right now, working with some amazing people. But that's going to fucking do it. Once again, my boy Brian, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's listening and watching. And we will see you next time.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks again, man. For real.